WCBI News at 10 starts now.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Stephanie Poole. Today, the Mississippi legislature voted to suspend the rules, paving the way for a vote on removing the state flag. It started earlier today in the state house and moved to a vote later this afternoon in the Senate. Both chambers needed a 2/3 vote to pass. The House received 85 votes and the Senate received 36. With both the House and Senate passing this resolution, they will now begin discussing a bill to remove the current state flag. Governor Tate Reeves has stated that he would sign whichever legislation lawmakers bring him this weekend. We caught up with a few lawmakers to get their reaction on the resolution passing. Here's what they had to say.
This is one step forward here. You know, this is one thing we needed to get by in Mississippi, and today we're going to get by it. We still have the bill to go, and it'll come, and we still have a vote to go. But we needed to step forward in Mississippi. This is that one step. We have many steps to take yet, but the first step in that journey was taken today.
It means that people are, I think hearts and minds are changing. Where there has been a sentiment in the past that the flag didn't need to be changed, I think we saw today that there are individuals who are willing to do that and move in that direction. It just shows progress, and that those old habits that have held us where we've been for so long, that's changing, and I think that should be comforting and a sense of hope.
Vote nay.
Lawmakers will create a 9-person commission to create a new flag. The new flag cannot contain the Confederate emblem, and it must include the words "In God We Trust." State leaders will meet again tomorrow, and they are expected to begin discussing the new bill to remove the state flag. Houston residents take to the park for their traditional fireworks show. Our Chad Groening reports.
Normally, the residents of Houston hold their homecoming celebration on the town square. But this year, because of the coronavirus, it will be moved to Joe Brigance Park.
You put several thousand people around the town square, it gets really packed in and tight. So in light of the COVID thing, we thought that we could bring it out here to the park. Everyone could spread out. People could stay in their cars if they wanted to. We just wanted to do this so that, you know, there aren't any really organized events, but as you can see from the space, you know, we've got about 10 acres that people can spread out on, and that's just a little safer, we think, than having everybody bunched up around the square.
It is traditional for the folks here in Houston to get together on the weekend before the 4th of July to watch fireworks, and the reason is purely economics. Oftentimes
people have other plans on the 4th, and fireworks are a heck of a lot more expensive to get directly on the 4th of July, so the weekend before is when we generally have it.
And Johnson says community leaders are concerned that everyone will be safe.
I don't know anyone personally who's had the coronavirus, but I do know of people who have had it. You know, I know that the city, the mayor, and the Board of Aldermen are very concerned about keeping everybody safe. We are hoping that we can get through this pandemic. Eventually, it's got to end with a lower impact.
And Johnson says Houston came through the period of economic shutdown pretty well because most residents stayed home to shop rather than go to Tupelo. Chad Groening, WCBI News, Houston.
The festivities brought dozens out for the fireworks.
Well, if you were outside earlier today, or if you're stepping outside right now, you probably noticed one thing: the heat and the humidity. I guess that's two things now that I think about it, but the heat and humidity is still out there right now. We're still close to 80 degrees in some spots here at the 10 o'clock hour. We're 76 right now in Columbus, 75 in Starkville. We're still 80 in Bruce and 79 right now in Aberdeen. The good news is we had a few showers earlier today. Most of us stayed dry. Everybody is dry right now, though. All those shower and storm areas have all moved off to the east, leaving us dry as we get into the 10 o'clock hour. Most everybody only picked up a trace. That was just a little bit of drizzle. Some spots did pick up a little heavier amounts up in Tupelo, New Albany, also down into Attala and Winston counties. In general, though, not a lot of rainfall. Folks really just saw a little bit of sunshine and cloud cover through the day today. That continues overnight tonight. Some clouds filtering through here. We'll say 70 for the low. Still mild and muggy, though. That's going to stick around here for the next several days. Can't completely rule out an isolated shower tonight. I think most of us are going to be on the dry side. Tomorrow, 90 degrees, another hot and humid day. We're looking at a mix of some sun and clouds. Again, can't completely rule out the chance of a pop-up shower or storm by the afternoon, but most of us stay dry, and that means we stay hot and humid. And unfortunately, as I mentioned, that trend continues through the next 7 days. We've also got to talk about the chance for some more rain showers, maybe even some storms by the time we get into the middle and end portion of the week. I've got those details in my full First Alert forecast in just a bit. Stephanie?
Thank you. Communities all over the state of Mississippi are gathering together to march across their towns to stand up for social injustice. In Macon, the community put together a unity march for the first time. The march started at the new home building parking lot and ended at the Noxubee County Courthouse. Second Vice President of the NAACP, Larry Tate, says he hopes this makes an impact in the community. All right, coming up, amateur radio hosts around the Golden Triangle have an annual field day. We'll have that story right after the break. Welcome back. Communication has a major role in our lives. Everyone wants to know what is happening and when. Thanks to ham radios, many operators are able to communicate with others across the world, even in an emergency. Our Savannah Gato got the opportunity to meet with local amateur radio clubs and has more on their annual field day.
We have a big group here in Starkville and Columbus and West Point, the whole Golden Triangle area, as a matter of fact, where there's lots of us that get around and experiment with radio and have a lot of fun with ham radio.
Today, the Magnolia and Columbus amateur radio clubs brought their radio transmitters and more for their annual field day. Once a year, members come together and practice setting up emergency stations for emergency situations.
In the event of an emergency situation where maybe other communications were down, we could pass messages, whether it be well-being or just what is going on, what's needed in this area. So there may be a family in California that has family here after a tornado and they're trying to find out how they're doing, and we can provide that. We can get messages passed through that system from here around the world and let them know that, hey, your loved ones are okay.
12-year-old Tripp is the youngest of the group, but age is just a number. He has already completed 2 out of the 3 tests and passed both of them. He is the next generation of radio communicators.
So he is a full-class HF ham radio operator.
President of Magnolia Amateur Radio Club says that what they are doing is sort of like fishing.
You can throw your signal out there and see if you get an answer, and you can throw it out there and make a friend. It's like catching a fish, you know, and you just talk to people all over the county, all over the state, all over the world.
The club's field day is 24 hours long and will last until 12 p.m. tomorrow.
Well, the heat and humidity going to be sticking around here for the next several days. Tomorrow might be a good day to find a way to cool down. If you're headed out to the lake, here's what your forecast is shaping up like. We're looking at highs in the low 90s, humidity making things feel like the mid 90s to near 100 degrees. We're going to say a mix of sun and clouds tomorrow with the potential of an isolated shower or storm. Most folks stay dry, so whatever you've got planned tomorrow, generally pretty nice weather for it if you can dodge the heat and humidity. I've got more details on the rain chances coming up in my First Alert forecast right after this. Stay with us.
Your WCBI First Alert AccuWeather forecast with meteorologist Trevor Burchett.
Well, as expected, most of us stayed dry through the day today. Just a little area of patchy drizzle here in Columbus. There were some heavier areas of storms off to the south and to the north. Right now, though, everybody is dry. Take a look at radar. Hardly anything going on, just some very light patchy drizzle in some spots. Most of the storms have moved off in Alabama. Believe it or not, there were 3 tornadoes on the ground at once in Coleman County, Alabama today. Luckily, we did not have to worry about any of that. Just a couple claps of thunder and some quick downpours out there. Here's a look at your wide picture of what's going on. Generally, the clouds even started to move out here as we get into the 10 o'clock hour. Rain showers continue off to the north and to the south, but right now we're kind of in a lull. That in part due to high pressure basically right on top of us. So very quiet weather for right now, but that could change here in the next couple of days. Take a look at the time lapse from the Alpha Insurance Camera Network. A beautiful sunset. Actually, you see some of that Sahara dust there that we've been talking about right at the end, but still a gorgeous day. Mostly sunny by the time the sun set, and we're mostly clear right now across the area. 76 here at the Air Force Base. We're 73 in Starkville, 79 for us still in Oxford. Same story up in Tupelo. We're looking at 78 degrees right now in West Point in Winona. Generally just a light wind anywhere from 3 to 6 miles per hour. Now, Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson, he's off on Saturday, but he's always got an eye on the weather. Take a look at this photo he sent in. This is from his backyard in Columbus. No, this is not Mars. This is right here in Mississippi. That's that Sahara dust we've been talking talking about. That hazy sky out there looking a little milky, the sun setting there off in the distance. So that dust really starting to get on out of here, but for the most part, at least for the next 24 hours or so, it is going to be basically right on top of us. Some thicker areas of dust through Arkansas right now, but the clearing air is down to our south. So here in the next little bit, some more fresh air is going to start to filter in. That dust is going to get out of here. You may have noticed some of the dust picking up on your car today as the rain fell. The rain kind of picked it up and dropped it down and kind of dirtied up your car a little bit. So a car wash might be in order after all that dust moves out. What the rain, unfortunately, is not going to help us with is the muggy air. Take a look at your comfort index for the next 7 days. This is a measure of the humidity and dew point moisture in the air. We're really going to stay muggy to humid for the next several days, kind of how it felt today where you walked outside and it just kind of slapped you in the face. It's going to stay that way for the next several days, even though we are going to increase rain chances by the middle and end portion of the week. Overnight tonight, I don't think we see any more rain. I am going to throw in the chance, though, for just a very isolated shower in the next couple of hours. We'll say 70 degrees for the low tonight with some passing clouds continuing to filter on by here. Winds generally light from 3 to 7 miles an hour out of the south. Tomorrow, very similar to what we saw today. We'll see a mix of some clouds and sunshine. We will still include a 20% chance for an isolated pop-up shower or storm through the afternoon. Most people don't see rain, and that's a very isolated chance. Hopefully most of us stay dry tomorrow, but with the heat and humidity, you might want a quick downpour to cool you down. We're targeting 90 degrees once again tomorrow with heat index values close to 95 or 100 degrees at times. Here's a look at the week ahead. We are going to stay warm and humid. Chances for pop-up storms continuing with that mix of sun and clouds like we saw today. Rain chances, though, do increase as we go into next week. We're going to have a couple of systems coming by here, and that's going to put us into a more rainy pattern as we get into the middle of the week. So tomorrow, Monday, looking pretty nice. We'll keep in a 20% chance for a pop-up shower or storm. We're really going to be watching Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That's when our rain chances slowly kind of be on the increase by the middle portion of the week. And then even into the weekend, we're going to keep in a chance of an isolated shower or pop-up storm. But I would say Wednesday and Thursday, probably your best chance to see rain in the next 7 days. Here's a look at that AccuWeather 7-day forecast again. Sunday, Monday, not too bad. We'll see a mix of some clouds and sunshine. Hot and humid, though. Highs in the low 90s. Tuesday, a mix of some sun and clouds, too, but we'll throw in a chance of an isolated storm or two. Wednesday, Thursday, some more scattered storms, and then back to those pop-up chances for showers and storms by the end of the week and into the weekend. Stephanie, even though the rain is here, it's going to stay hot and humid. Highs near 90 with overnight lows in the 70s.
And you know, Trevor, it's the perfect time to really kind of go out and enjoy that, summer weather, like you said, on Sunday and Monday. And maybe drawn later on the week, we could probably see that rain. So if you don't have an umbrella, do not be like me. Go out to Walmart and get you one so you will not get wet.
Stephanie did tell me today she just lost her umbrella. And I said, this is probably the week you want to find it, just to at least have one on standby.
This is exactly the week I need to go get an umbrella so I do not get caught in the midst of that rain.
Absolutely.
All right, the high school football tour continues on. We check in with the Okolona Chieftains for stop number 6. Cast a preview next in sports.
With Courtney Robb.
We continue the high school football tour with a visit to Okolona. Head coach Lamar Harvey and the Chieftains look to bounce back from a 3-8 record last season, all in hopes of returning to the postseason this year. Okolona is stop number 6 on the high school football tour.
WCBI Sports 2020 High School Football Tour is brought to you by Itawamba Community College, Cannon Ford of Starkville, Monroe County Farm Bureau, Max South Broadband, and the Bank of Vernon.
The youth movement makes its way to Okolona in 2020. The Chieftains return only 2 starters on offense, but head coach Lamar Harvey loves the energy this team brings day in and day out.
Our young guys are eager. We push them. They put the work in, and we're excited for this year. We want to compete. The big thing we're teaching, playing football, we want to compete in life, and we're excited. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen, but we're excited to get it going.
A lot of ones coming back from last year that played, we can go and show the young guys how to come out there and they can just pay attention to us, and then we can just show them how to do it.
Harvey says he's known this freshman class since they were in the 6th grade and is excited to bring them in and show them the Chieftain culture.
I like to have a lot of fun with them. We do have a lot of fun out here. I'll tell them, football is supposed to be fun. It's a tough discipline for sport that teaches life lessons, but if kids come out and don't have fun, hey, they don't want to be out here anyway. So we like to have fun in Oklahoma.
Come out here, treat you like you his own. You go in the gym at the school, go talk to him, chop it up, laugh. He's a great guy. He come out here, teach you everything you need to know. just like a father.
Okolona will rely heavily on its defense. The 3 starting linebackers from last season are back and hungry to wreak havoc on the field.
They make the calls. They get the call from my defensive coordinator on the sideline, so they're the quarterback on defense to be able to make those calls and get our guys lined up in correct position. That's big, and that's going to be our strong point this year's linebacker and defensive line play.
You got me, Money, Davon, 3 linebackers. It's it right there.
The senior leadership will be needed as Okolona competes in the toughest region in 1A. This young squad enters the season under the radar, but wouldn't want it any other way.
No one's talking about us. That's the way we like it. We low key, and hopefully we're surprising people this year.
Okolona will host Aberdeen August 21st to start the season. Reporting in Okolona, Chris Bolton, WCBI Sports.
WCBI Sports 2020 High School Football Tour with Okolona is sponsored by Okolona Pharmacy Gifts and Florist, Bank of Okolona, and Access School Health Services.
We've got plenty of the high school football tour to still come. Here's a look at the upcoming stops. Sunday, we check in with French Camp for stop number 7. Monday, we then get back to it with the Hamilton Lions. That is stop number 8, ladies and gents. Tuesday, it's going to be all about the Vardaman Rams for stop number 9. And then on Wednesday, we check in by going up north and seeing the Myrtle Hawks. And then on Thursday, the tour makes the trip to Baldwin. We'll see what the Bearcats are up to as we get ready for the upcoming season. Friday, we will be urching it up, as always, with East Union. That's stop number 12. Then next weekend, yes, already into the first week of July. Saturday features the Mantassi Mustangs. And then on Sunday, we'll wrap up the week with the Bruce Trojans. Of course, for any of those stops that you may have missed along the way, you can always check them out on our website at WCBI.com. That's it for sports. We'll have more for you when we come back after the break. Stay with us.
Welcome back. Washington State is putting a pause on counties moving to phase 4 of reopening, citing concerns about the continued spread of coronavirus. Phase 4 would essentially mean no restrictions. CBS's Danya Bacchus reports.
This could be the vaccine to help defeat the coronavirus, but there's no guarantee.
I wouldn't be working on this trial if I didn't feel cautiously optimistic that we will see great immune responses in our participants. But there's still a long way to go to evaluate this vaccine.
The vaccine trial at Imperial College London is beginning to test on people, a milestone only a dozen other laboratories have reached. Kathy is one of the college's 300 volunteers.
I think it came from not really knowing what I could do to help, and this turned out to be something that I could do, and understanding that it's not likely that things will get back to normal until there is a vaccine, so wanting to be part of that progress as well.
If this trial goes well, 6,000 more volunteers will be immunized in the fall. Researchers may also need to test overseas in virus hotspots to increase exposure. Currently, there are more than 120 coronavirus vaccines in development worldwide. Researchers say that several vaccines will need to work for widespread immunization. One extra advantage this vaccine offers is size. Since the vaccine is created artificially without the need to grow the virus, researchers say it can easily be manufactured on a large scale.
It means that we can make the equivalent of 2 million doses in the volume of a litre. So you imagine a litre bottle of lemonade, that would have 2 million doses in it.
If ultimately proven safe and effective, Imperial College hopes to have enough doses for 40 million people by next summer. Ian Lee, CBS News, London.
And despite new infections across the country, American Airlines plans to once again fill planes to capacity starting July 1st, joining United in making all seats available. Trevor will have your last look at your forecast right after the break.
Overall, Sunday and Monday, I don't think looking all too bad. It's going to be hot and humid, though. Highs right around 90 degrees. Can't completely rule out the chance of a pop-up shower or storm in the next couple of days, but better rain chances are going to come Tuesday all the way into the weekend. I think the best chance for rain is going to be Wednesday and Thursday, but just keep that umbrella handy. Highs right around 90, overnight lows staying in the low 70s.
All right, well, Trevor, I guess people need to take our advice and go get that umbrella, huh?
Yes, they do.
All right, well, thank you all for joining us. Have a good night.